All right. Any specials on my right? Councilmember Price.
Mr. President, out of an abundance of caution, the city attorney has asked that I recuse myself from item 7 because I am a landlord. Additionally, I'm recusing myself from item 6 because my wife's employer has worked with applicants on this item. So
All right.
items 6 and 7.
Items 6 and 7 for the purposes of recusal for Councilmember Price. And as he's recusing, let's welcome one of our colleagues to the chamber from the 5th Council District. Councilmember Paul Koretz is in the house. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Thank you. Everything was wonderful. I wanted to, because we moved the date, one of our artists from San Pedro, Rowan Harrison, could not be with us, and he is here through the magic of Facebook. And I want to shout out our artist. He is in New Mexico right now working with some of the pieces. I want to give Rowan a shout out and thank him for being here. And thank you to the community. We really appreciate sharing this with you, and I have loved and enjoyed every part of this ceremony.
Pleased to be able to introduce to all of you the new Consul General of France, who has now been here for 4 weeks, Consul General Adrien Frière. Consul General.
Which has now fed into the creation of our Right to Counsel program. Are you impressed yet? Because I am.
Thank you, Councilwoman Rahman. The next speaker is someone who is no stranger to this chamber, was a member of this esteemed body for many years, was termed out, but he's found a way to claw back in through days like this. Sorry for the pun. None other than someone who's such a champion for animal welfare. Let's hear and give it up for Paul Koretz.
Well, thank you, Bob, for recognizing this critical organization. I've been involved from the beginning. It really sort of started when we were looking at a development about 13 years ago in Laurel Canyon when I represented it. And a group who became the leadership of CLAW came to me and said, well, this development will block wildlife connectivity, and it really should be a wildlife corridor. And that was when I became more aware of the issue. And eventually, about 10 years ago, CLAW became a formal organization, and we started working on creating wildlife corridors in the city of Los Angeles.
Great. Hello, Mr. Gus.
DanielGus.substack.com. Paul Koretz, he's the fucker who's responsible single-handedly for the chaos at Animal Services. Read the LA Times, Bob. You people sat here and lied to every undocumented person in Los Angeles. On DanielGus.substack.com, I have a column called Sanctuary City Charade, where this city council danced on the back of every undocumented person in Los Angeles, and you said that you're protecting them? You didn't protect them from shit. You didn't tell them that the LAPD is exempt from all of these things that you think are going to happen. You stood here and you lied before the TV cameras. You stood and crushed the backs and the trust of every undocumented person in this city and told them that they're safer today than they were the day before. You lied. You lied. You lied. DanielGus.substack.com.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Greenspan, the floor is yours. Please begin.
Mike Greenspan, UCLA football sucks dick like this one. Yes, folks, it's a big game tomorrow. And have we paid for it. It keeps costing us. I mean, why do they say defund the police? We should be defunding UCLA, especially their athletic department. I believe in grand juries. If they weren't protected in the state by all their fans in the legislature, we'd have a grand jury investigation and find out why now they are $158 million in debt just at the Athletic Association. Usually that's a cash cow. Moo! But no, we're in debt. We only were $103 million when they decided to join the Pac-10, looking at that as a bailout. It's time to get somebody sent to prison for misuse of funds. UCLA football sucks a dick like this one and always will because it's misusing our money.
Thank you, Mr. Greenspan.
I'm thankful for the opportunity to come and speak today, and I want to say that first off, I would like to say that when you guys act, I appreciate it, like when Ms. Hutt came down from her bench to come and assist us and place us in a facility, as well as Mr. Armstrong. They immediately, Armstrong meaning the police officer that's standing behind us, they immediately had somebody come and help us. But our rights have been constantly violated. We're still in a space that has 3 beds with 6 children and 2 adults. And last night when I was reading my daughter a bedtime story, one of the ladies came in. She retaliated against me. I guess she found out that I had came down here, and she came into the room and turned the lights off on me while I was reading my daughter a story. I did look like the minutes is going down, but I thought I was going to have 3 minutes. But I will say that I have the right to be treated with dignity and respect. I have a right to religious liberty. I have a right to privacy and confidentiality. I have a right to be treated with cultural sensitivity. I have a right to self-determination and identifying goals. I have a right to present complaints and grievances.
Thank you. Thank you, Speaker. Hi, good to see you.
Hey, General Public Comment
Sure,
Council.
you have a minute. Please begin.
I would like to thank the City Clerk's office for really taking up the step to give and producing the Braille. There's a major problem with the Department of Disability. They lack people. It's not a fancy issue and so forth, but it happens. We need to do more. Problem with the Department of Neighbor Empowerment, I had to pay $200 several times to have people get translations for sign language because the NEAs and those cocksucker motherfuckers over there never contact so people could have sign language. For some reason, I get contacted from stakeholders I don't know, and my issue is for make sure someone has access. These people are just terrible at Department of Neighbor Empowerment. They're just fucking so terrible. They just do whatever they take. And also my Braille that they owe me, they always send it 3 weeks later. I can't blame the council, but it really needs to be addressed. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, John Lee, you still have your friends
Okay.
asking about you in Vegas.
Please go ahead.
You know what I'm talking about, right, John Lee? So, I'm a dreamer. I wish Los Angeles would fix this problem on homelessness. But the truth is the budget of $500 million was stolen. So why the fuck we have a woman with her children here asking you for accommodations for housing? You got $500 million motherfucking dollars and you can't house 5 children for the winter into the end of this world? What the fuck's wrong with you assholes? Do something about it. Do something about it. And you, Lee, stay the fuck away from Vegas. 42 C 1983 politely. Fuck you.
Thank you. Okay, Speaker, please begin. You have a minute.
Really? $30 minimum wage? We have American citizens living on the street, and then somehow you are giving those illegal $30 minimum wage? We have American citizens living on the street, and somehow you are giving those illegal free housing? We have American citizens who do not have enough food, who do not have enough food on the table, and then you are giving those illegal free housing, free big house? We have illegal citizens, we have law-abiding citizens who are under attack by those whole criminals on the Figueroa South Central, and then somehow you are trying to give them a free housing just because they have 3, 4, or 5 whatever kids? We need to take care of American citizens first. You guys, every single one of you are voted by American citizens. Not any one of you are voted by an illegal. So I want to make sure, is this the legal city of Los Angeles, or if this is the illegal city of Los Angeles? We have legal, law-abiding citizens that are dying on the street, and somehow you are giving those money to criminal and illegal.
Thank you.
Audit LA. I'm here to just remind Ms. Rahman that she owes me an apology for how she spoke to me before the Homeless Committee meeting, 2 weeks ago now. If you need lessons on how to do it correctly and how to treat people, ask Mr. McCosker. He is the A standard for respect in this house, and so I'm going to help you campaign, sir, even though I don't live in your area, because he's A+. And even Ms. Padilla, she's come a long way. I'm proud of her too. So, Ms. Rahman, I'm waiting on that apology. I am also asking you to please give this child's birthday is coming up, Christmas is coming up. Let's give them a bigger home. You know what I mean? Like, there is a lot of money there that has not been spent. Bless this family, you know, please, please, please. And please, for the love of God, can you please, even though I know Ms. Rahman doesn't want to hear repeat stuff too much, please remove the planters off of L. Ron Hubbard Way in Fountain. It is not ADA compliant. I have a right to access the streets. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Harriet Elliott, CD 10.
Sure, and if you pull the mic down a little bit, we'll hear you better. Thanks. So please begin.
3-inch Sharon says he's being harassed sexually and he's being discriminated against. The back of my shirt says the CIA killed 20 of my friends. They did. It's mostly through directed energy weapons cancer. Everyone, you'll see, if you ever look at my dad, my mom, my brother, my ex-husband, my son was killed more. There were other things besides cancer, okay? More than 20 people killed. I need someone to help me. This woman is a soul sister for me. I'm not religious like her. She's deeply religious, and we're both targeted individuals with directed energy. You want to know about directed energy? Livid. That's a popular book right now, 2020. And she's Patricia Cornwell. Please get it. You'll see all about directed energy. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Spindler, you have a minute. Please begin.
Yes, and it's too bad we want to pay tribute and join me, especially Eunice, for the late Kevin De Leon, a moment of silence. We will not pray for Kevin. Dear Lord, let's hope that these other council criminals don't rat you out for that 2021 meeting over there at the union headquarters. Let us hope that they don't knock and announce and raid your house. Let us hope that Pat, known as Tim McCosker, will use his bar license and help defend you when the time comes. Because you fucked up, Kevin, pretty bad here. We tried to save you, but, you know, like the Bible says, you can't teach a man how to fish. You have to steal the fish to feed them. Shut up. Ew. So finally, and I'm wearing the hat here, to begin next month, a Merry fucking Christmas month. As we go, and we will read passages out of the Bible in Turin to prove one thing: God doesn't exist, and Tracy Park is Satan.
Thank you, Mr. Spindler. Hi, you have a minute. The floor is yours.
All right. I see that Katie is here. I'm glad. I've been trying to get a hold of you for about a year and a half about this issue. Today I'm here to talk about the economic terrorization that is happening to a frontline LAX worker. The living wage law is made before the ACA, and it is flawed. The insurance section has been, with my airline, who is non-union, they have decided that they can charge somebody $17,424 a year for health insurance. It violates the living wage. They don't care. You can make if you're 4.5 years at Delta Airlines working your gates, they will take over $4 an hour from you for health insurance. They will make you pay premiums. They will take you off your overtime. I paid $8,600 for health care, while Delta said my insurance was worth $7,900. That doesn't include the overtime. Please, please, I have emailed multiple times. The city looked at this and failed me. They can't understand it because the law is broken. Thank you.
Good to see you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mares. You have a minute, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. You know, I want to thank the council for honoring Native Americans. This is what a Native American wears today. But it's interesting, you know, I get 1 in 10 times to speak. You have a right to hear me. But it isn't a gentleman like this gentleman on the end, a white man who denies me my voice. It is Mr. Dawson and the other man up there right now. It's Mrs. Nuri Martinez, who cuts your throat and disgraces everything in this hollowed area. The result and what we have with the public today insulting you is because of what she did and what Mr. Dawson continues. Yes, you can try to stop my voice, but one thing, being here 36 years, you should see the stack of stuff I have. And boy, is it dangerous. And I'm actually being offered $25,000 if I will turn it over. It's unbelievable what I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want my voice back.
Fellow speaker.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Suzy Dovlatian. I've lived in East Hollywood neighborhood for approximately 30 years, and we have a project coming in that is overwhelming our community and are being singled out to suffer through this. And it's not fair that we are being forced to give up a disproportionate amount of space. So we don't think that this is a fair process, and it's not fair that 90% of the city is exempt from these type of projects. You're opening up our community to these developers that was originally not meant to be, and we just don't have the infrastructure to handle the type of services that's needed to provide additional 184 units. We don't want the community feel to be altered. The development is actually not helping people, it's hurting people. It's forcing people out of their homes because it's creating incentives for developers to take advantage of the land and focusing on over-concentrating these type of developments and big buildings in East Hollywood that otherwise would not have been built. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, speaker. You have a minute. Please begin.
My name's Doug Haynes of the East Hollywood Neighborhood Council. I listened to everyone here for over 2 hours. I'd appreciate it if you listen to me. East Hollywood has been ground zero for density bonus projects, and subsequently East Hollywood had the highest population loss in LA County in the last census. Almost 7,000 poor minority residents were forced out. Now we're under siege with PD1 projects, which are affordable in name only. Moderate income tenants can make up to $117,000 a year, and a studio apartment can rent for up to $1,750 a month. No one in my neighborhood can afford that. R1 zones are exempt from 81 projects. That's 72% of LA. The housing element would further exempt 6 community plans and 7 CPIOs. People fear that what remains will lose the existing affordable housing and drive the poor out, and those fears are real. If you're serious about providing affordability, you enact an inclusionary housing requirement of 15% affordable in all projects. I tried to speak on Tuesday, but I and many others were unable to get into the meeting. I hope that when this comes before the City Council, that you will actually open it up for public comment, because this is...
Thank you. Hi, speaker. You have a minute. The floor is yours.
It's not enough. Hi, I'm Jonathan Foster, 54, just a homeless guy. We're still fighting the Mexican-American War. This building has been letting Mexican illegal aliens kill citizens of all types. And I would just want to say, let's get to the meat of it. You have to turn the illegal aliens over to ICE, and we're not talking about a house raid. We're not talking about a house raid. We are not talking about a house raid. We're talking about when you deal with a criminal and they're illegal, they have to be turned over to ICE. This is the Murder Approval Board, same as the LAPD Commission. You know, the LA Child Protective Services is broke. And what you're allowing and encouraging more women to bring their little kids over here, which is child abuse. My last name is Foster. Foster, I know all about child abuse, and I know that this is child abuse. You're a liar. You say it's about the money. It's only $45 in paycheck and $10 in gas, but what you're spending on illegal aliens is a fortune. You liars! How do we?
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker.
Speaker, you're disrupting the
Officers.
meeting. Stop.
Officers, can you please remove this person?
If there are any other speakers that have not been called, please line up.
Hi. Sorry about that. hold on
Officers,
one
subject
second.
to Rule 7 and 12, can
Okay,
you please
you've
remove
been
this
ejected
gentleman
from
for
the meeting.
disrupting our meeting?
He is, I believe he's making threats as well. Okay. Hold on one second, Speaker. So I'm sorry you got cut off, so please begin.
Okay, it's okay. Hi. Last night, we was reading in the computer room where we stay, and then the lady, her name is Genesis, she just came up and turned the lights off and stuff. We was reading. My mom was reading the book to us, and then and then once we was done, we went upstairs into the laundry room and watched the phone, and then we left. Went to the room for a second, and we come back, the door's locked, and she was ignoring my mom. She locked the door to her office and closed the window and locked it so we won't talk to her. And then
trying to file a grievance.
and then my sister, she couldn't get her iPhone, her phone out the laundry room, and then she didn't give us no diapers for last night for the baby.
A form of retaliation because they found out I came down here. So I just want to make sure that our grievance is heard.
Thank you.
Okay. So, thank you. So let's see. Sorry, ma'am. We need to listen from other people. Do we have more people in the room who are giving? None here, so we're moving to the phones.
Seeing as there are no more speakers here in council chambers, can we move to the phones, please?
Rob Kwan, like to use my general public
Yes.
comment to say hello, my dear Fable. Can you ask Morte or Graciano to check and make sure the members haven't strayed from the back room? Because now that McCosker and Park have left, it looks like we got 7 people on the floor. So just make sure they didn't step out to go grab some food or photo op or something. For the members who are there, I just wanted to flag that Mayor Bass is clearly struggling to come up with some Charter Reform Commission picks. She's had a lot of big appointments lately, so understandable. Please give her your ideas and understand that our committee, that they were just winging it. Paul Krikorian decided to throw in a restriction on anybody who's donated to the appointing authority. So it can't be somebody that's donated to Mayor Bass within the last 4 years, which really does make her job tough, because who wasn't throwing money at Mayor Bass when she was running for office? So please come up with some ideas. Karen needs help. Give her a call. Get her a good charter commission appointed. We got to get that thing off the ground. Don't you think, Fable?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kwan. Next speaker.
Hi, general public comment, please.
Please go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, City Council. It's been 2 hours that I've been waiting on the phone. So in regards to the Sanctuary City Ordinance, I do want to mention that Kevin DeLeon, when he was a lawmaker in Sacramento, that he passed the Sanctuary City law in Sacramento. Basically, that law does not exempt criminals. Just want to make that very clear. Second thing I would like to say is that it's just sad that we have a resident who is unhoused, who's coming to the city council asking for housing, but instead of helping her, I've noticed that the migrants who just arrived here, they're getting front seats, front line priority over residents in this city, and that is totally unfair to the residents of the city of Los Angeles. I just wanted to also say that it's also dangerous that we have a dangerous gang that.
Thank you, Speaker.
I used a different phone. So yeah,
I see Kevin De Leon showed up again today while you honored Indigenous people, even though Kevin De Leon is anti-Indigenous. Kevin De Leon lost re-election, so he's not going to be in council next year. He's a lame duck council member. That's right. Now you passed your sanctuary city ordinance, but why did you exempt the LAPD from it? That's the main department that needs to be held to the sanctuary city ordinance. That's the main one this should be targeting, but because we know they're the main ones that are going to be collaborating with ICE, and you just exempted them from it. Marquise needs to stop lowering my hand on the phone. Every time I call in, my hand's lowered. Why is that? Why does my hand keep getting lowered? You need to do something about that.
Yeah, it's Eric Previn. I'd like to speak on item 5.
So,
6, and
Mr.
a general
Previn,
public comment.
actually, all we have available is 1 minute general public comment. So you have a minute. The floor is
point
yours.
of order, he just asked me which items I wanted to speak on. Was that just to lather me up and then shut me down?
I'm sorry that you're lathered up. You have a minute. Please go ahead.
All right. Well, first of all, I don't disagree with Senator Gravener that the lowering of the hand is extremely creepy, Mr. Harris Dawson. And if you think you're going to get away with it, you should look twice. It's not going to happen. You got to tighten up your protocol so that it's fair and reasonable. Item 5 is I was thrown because it's a police garage activity, which is not pleasant for a progressive group. But it's run by a guy named Moshe Dayan, who was an Israeli retaliationist from years ago. He was sort of a hero for some people and a scoundrel for others, but very interesting. I don't think there's any relation. I tried to do a looking. I would suggest that when you have presentations like this today, you should put them on an agenda so we can review them like at the County Board of Supervisors. And I would also suggest that when you have public speakers on camera, they should appear the same size as the Indigenous people. And the Indigenous people who are honored today should also understand that everybody should be visible to the public, including you, Fauble. Good to have.
Thank you, Mr. Previn.
Hi, this is Ruthless. The city controller last week found $513 million unspent of homeless budgeted funds in the city, and that is enough for $1,000 per month for a whole year for every person living outside or in a car or a van or an RV, a tent, a tarp, a shelter, on certain vouchers, and in a bridge home, pallet shelters, and everything to get $1,000 a month for a whole year. So the city of LA needs to do a better job at spending this money and not claiming that it has no money for homelessness. We've been requesting a lived experience advisory commission through CF 19-1020 for 5-6 years now. The council file has now expired, so I can't think of a better time to have lived experience commission so we can watchdog these funds that are supposed to be spent on assisting us so that they don't go unspent. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.